least.
Turn it down a little bit.
Yeah, no mic needed with this thing. And 1 3/4 neck, Waverly tuners. It's just great. I don't have to say much about it. It speaks for itself. If this guitar can't give it to you, you probably don't need it. So, and it's a great guitar. I use Elixir strings. That's just my preference. I like through saddles. I just think they look cool. Makes me look like I know what I'm doing when I play it. So I have Evo frets in it because I play all the time, and fret jobs are getting expensive, and that's all I really had to say about it. It's an amazing guitar. It's just big, and I'm just using a $1 pick or whatever it is. So yeah. What? Hey, you put your money in your guitar and you skimp everywhere else.
I think one of my favorite things about, I just saw that guitar for the first time today, but the grain on that thing is incredible.
Yeah.
You call it boat wake?
Yeah, it's a boat wake. It's coming at you.
Wow.
And then the grain on the back of that thing is just amazing.
Kenny Smith says it's really nice paneling. And so I got it out of the double wide. just east of Yakima. So it's a great guitar. It's got everything. It's just, I'm real proud of it. I think today, for me, it's a real special thing because, you know, Garrett's been a long-time friend of mine, and to have a person you know build your guitar, and not just build your guitar, build your dream. That's what we're selling here. It may say Thompson on the headstock, but what we're selling is what you believe you are to be when you own one of these things. And I think, you know, there's a lot of great companies out there making instruments, and that's great. But there's something special when the connection is really intertwined that way, and going to select your woods and things like that. It's just an amazing instrument, and it's a great experience. And I think those of you people who play and want to invest in yourselves, this is probably one of the best things you can do for yourself, is buy one of these guitars, because they're as good as anything ever being made, period. So, end the story there. I'll shut up now.
You used to sell cars, Steve.
That's right. This one comes with a spare, but I can't guarantee the air in it.
What Steve didn't tell you is everybody at the workshop gets a free guitar. So.
Yeah.
Thanks, Okra.
Yeah. They're all under your seat.
I'm Don Scher, and I play with Old Growth Quartet here. We're at the festival, and also with the Downtown Mountain Boys. I'm the local Seattle person, so if any of you want to contact me and actually get a hold of this and play it, I'd be very happy to have you do that. So that's the 4-wheel drive version. This is the 2-wheel drive version. This is a standard 18. It has basically nothing custom except I think I asked for some fatter frets in there, for fret wire in there. So it's a mahogany guitar. And the reason I got this is because I just love, first of all, I played Steve's and I played a bunch of others and loved them. But I just think this guitar mics as well as any guitar I've ever had. And that is, to me, you know, what the main reason I got it and the main reason I love it. And Joel did an amazing setup. They've been great about kind of following up and making sure that I'm really happy with it. So I'm just thrilled and honored to play one of these. And I happen to be in a band, Old Growth Quartet, where we have 2 of these guitars, and that just is double the fun. So,
I'm Tim Stafford, and play with Blue Highway. And my main guitar is a 34 D18, and it's a really dry dreadnought that mics well because it's mahogany and it's old and beat up. And I wanted a Brazilian guitar, and I looked around, and I was going to have Wayne Henderson build one because I've got one of Wayne's Madagascar guitars. And it would have taken the rest of my life to get it. So, I actually saw some of Preston's guitars online, and I was really intrigued by this Amber Burst. which I really like. And so I talked to Preston and some of the folks here at the company, and they said, oh yeah, I looked at, and the DBA model just was the Shipwreck Brazilian, which I don't know if you guys have talked about that or not, but it's been underwater a long time, right? And it's been salvaged from Shipwreck. Is it off the coast of Portugal? Is that right?
Yeah, it was a Danish ship bringing lumber to Portugal.
Because, okay, that makes it sound better than Danish. That's true.
So you need Danish wood polish.
But it's got, you know, it plays great and it sounds wonderful. Of course, we put this capo trick on here so you can see for a Brazilian guitar, it's very light, airy sounding, you know. Turn the mic over so you can hear a little bit. It's the style I play, I think, pretty well, and it's, I don't know, just for a Brazilian guitar, it's not real woofy, it cuts a mic good, which I love.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't find that in all Brazilian guitars, because I think they were made to be played acoustically, you know, at a distance. That's why they call them dreadnoughts, you know, they're named after battleships. So, but yeah, this is, it's got more bling on it than any guitar I've ever owned in my life. I'm kind of the David Greer school. I was in a workshop with him.
Here we go.
Here we go. And he said, somebody showed me a guitar that had a bunch of abalone on it. And he said, what do you think of it? And I said, I don't like it. He said, why not? He said, well, guitar is a tool. He said, I don't put rhinestones in my hammer. So, you know, I kind of feel that way too, but I do like the abalone. As I get older, I guess
Do you have a tone guard on that guitar?
I do, actually, yeah. It's something I started doing here a while back.
It's a pretty one.
And it holds it off of you, and in the summertime it keeps the sweat off the guitar, and it sounds a lot better with it on. So, yeah.
It's very broad. A lot of clarity. Yeah, it's really clear. I'm Dale Adkins. I also play with Don and Old Growth Quartet. This is basically just like Don's, it's a stock mahogany Adirondack top. Everything's pretty stock about it. It's got, gorgeous bear claw on the front of this top. There's a lot of, I really wanted to support some of our local luthiers, and when I was looking for a guitar, I played a Merrill guitar for Virginia, I think, for years, and my son now has that guitar, and I was just ready for something different. So I was starting to look around at some of the luthiers around here, and I wanted to do something from the Northwest because I live here. And when I started looking at Thompson's, the thing that struck me was the consistency in the guitars. I've never played one that I didn't like. And that to me was absolutely fantastic. It's like there's just no dogs, and you know, I can't say that about all the other makers that I've played. You know, so I've played a lot of guitars here and there. These guitars are so consistent. And the other thing I really like about them is, for me, I want a guitar that responds to my playing. The top responds. So if I'm playing something up the neck that I'm not having to work, the guitar will help me to do what I'm trying to do. And every single one of them, the tops respond in a way that really helps me play. Plus the sound's incredible, but I'm all about how the guitar responds. And they're big guitars. You know, last summer we had the opportunity to play some festivals where there was a bunch of really fantastic old guitars. I ended up playing this guitar
Because I liked it. It responded in the way that I wanted it to, and it sounded great. And we were playing at night, playing in jams. I chose to play this guitar, and there was, you know, so that was just then. You know, this weekend I've been playing a lot of other guitars because there's a lot of crazy stuff out there. But I'm so happy with this guitar when I pick it up, and then I'm playing in an environment where there's all these guitars that have several more zeros than this one costs, and it's very competitive, and I just feel like I don't necessarily have to have that guitar to feel like you know, I don't have to have a guitar that costs, you know, a couple extra zeros. This one is doing what I need it to do in a very big way, and so I'm very impressed. And plus, the customer service that I've had, I had my bridge kind of shaved down to take the action down, and Joel did some amazing stuff a couple different times. The setup has been fantastic. You know, the people at the shop are so friendly. Of course, I live about 40 minutes away from there, so it's great to go and visit. But, yeah, so anyway.
Right on. This one, man, how long have I had this one, Christine? A couple years.
Yeah,
Probably.
a year and a half, year and 3/4.
At least probably 2 years or more.
If it is, it goes by so fast.
Yeah. So this is my main axe, and I play this thing on just about every show. This is a DBA, Brazilian, and spruce top, and I have two Thompson guitars. I have a mahogany one as well, and the other guitar that I have that I really like is that 48 D28 that Brian Sutton used to have with the two pick guards on it.
Yeah.
I bought that from him.
Wow.
And it's that's a really great guitar too, but it's amazing how much I choose this one. In the studio, in the jam, on stage especially, I use this one over my old Martin. And it's just because it just feels better in my hands. I use a pickup when I play on stage a lot of times. A lot of times we're playing for a lot of loud, drunk people. So I use a pickup, and they put a K&K under here for me, and I use a Grace DI, and I usually blend a microphone with it. But this guitar, it just works the best acoustically and with the pickup. It's just so versatile, that I end up just like taking this one instead of bringing two guitars, or I'll bring this one for jamming and bring this one for stage or whatever. Just bring the Thompson. It's all in one, And this is the second neck that it has been on this guitar. When I ordered it, I ordered a 1 3/4 neck, which is awful wide for me, and I played about 100 gigs on it, and I realized that I maybe didn't need to have that pre-war spacing. I started to maybe feel a little bit of fatigue in my left hand after playing night after night, and I it's like, why do I have a big wide neck anyways? It's not like I have large hands, So again, the customer service was just absolutely impeccable. I kind of hated to go back and say, hey, I know I just ordered this guitar and I ordered it with this neck, but I think I need a different neck now. And they were just like, no problem. Yeah, just ship it right to us. And they just swapped it out. And now the guitar is more comfortable than ever, but it sounds better than ever too. I was wondering about that. The guitar was so great with the old neck, and I was just, impressed and told me, he's like, you got nothing to worry about. The sound's in the box, and he said that it won't change nothing. And when I got the guitar back, it sounded even better. Maybe just because I could get around it a little better or something, but I certainly didn't lose anything. And so just having, I play 200 gigs a year, and sort of to have that NASCAR-like pit stop there, it's like, these folks are really kind and generous, and they want me to have a guitar that plays well, and I can call them and say anything. I need this or that, or can we do this to it, or whatever, and they're just like so supportive, and it's amazing to have that kind of a team as a musician. It's like, if I was a golfer or something, it would be like somebody like designing the perfect club for my swing. It's like I'm the only one that swings like this, and these folks kind of help me find the guitar for my playing, and this one's it as far as I'm concerned. And I'll probably get about 2 or 3 more Thompsons, or maybe 5. I really kind of want to have all of them, a dreadnought. I got 2 dreadnoughts, but gonna order a orchestra model soon. And so I'm just on my way to having a whole collection of these guitars because I love them so much.
Thank you.
They're amazing.
Yeah, they are great.
And again, kind of what you said about, this is a Brazilian guitar, but I mean it just cuts like, it's not woofy. It's got the low end that you want, but it still like cuts almost like a D18, you know? And it works really good in the studio and on a mic. It's just everything I throw this guitar at, it loves it. Yeah. So thank you, Thompson.
They want you to play a little bit more.
Put a quarter in them.
It's my turn. My name's Josh. I'm with the Poe Ramblin Boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice to be here in Washington. My experience with Thompson started out with Billy here. I was following him on Instagram and seeing when he got that one, I guess it was. And I'm a sunburst guy, I always have been. And I seen how pretty the sunburst was, how perfect it was. You know, some sunbursts by custom builders get kind of shady.
You gotta go down the back alley.
I had a sunburst from a guy in Nashville that builds custom guitars, and it just looks like you kind of blotted some sponges around the edges. It's pretty rough. But so the first thing that drew me to Thompson was the looks of the guitar, which I was never able to play one, so it's a good place to start with how they look, and just the quality of the craftsmanship on every single one is perfect. There's no flaws on any of the guitars, it seems. And I was at Carter's in Nashville and seen a slope shoulder with a sunburst, a slot headstock.
Oh man, I love that guitar.
Yeah, and I ended up, I looked at it forever, went back 4 or 5 times, and finally decided to buy it. And I played it for probably 3 months, I guess. And I was going to keep it forever. It was my forever guitar. Then I got a buddy in Wyoming who kept on begging me to buy it, and I finally just put this like ridiculous price on it. And he wrote me a check. And I was kind of upset, but it was at Rocky. It was at Rocky Grass. Luckily, Thompson was there, and they had 2 guitars with them. And so I got to play one of those, and they gave one away at the competition, and the other one was this one. So they took it back home and fixed it up for me. And they knew I liked a higher action, and so they kind of readjusted the action on it a little bit and shipped it out to me. So I've never actually got the custom order at Thompson yet. I'm going to take care of that real soon, like today, actually. And I'm a Rosewood guy, I always have been. All my heroes play Rosewood. You know, I'm a rhythm guy. All my influences and idols are all rhythm players and singers. Like my main influence is Carter Stanley of the Stanley Brothers, and he never played much lead. So I guess if my influence was like Tony Rice or Doc Watson or something when I was a kid, I'd be playing more lead now than I am. But I mainly just do rhythm and sing. So what I look for in a guitar is the response when I'm playing rhythm. I don't have to beat the hell out of it to get, you know, a big full noise out of it. And we used to play a lot on a single mic. We don't do so much anymore. But on a single mic, you've got to have a guitar that'll perform and keep up with everything else, because you can't just push it up in the faders a little bit. You don't have one pinpoint on the stage to get noise to. So that's what I like the most about it. It's just for rhythm, it's just a good full loud guitar that you don't have to beat yourself to death I used to have just a standard OD28. It was 2000s model. I had to just beat the hell out of it to get anything out of it, and I didn't like that. So this took care of it right here. The slope shoulder did too, which I got that good. The slope shoulder was a completely different tone and noise than the Dreadnought makes, but it was still just as good. And I really liked the slope shoulder a lot. And I felt like the down pressure on the slot of the headstop at the nut really made it a whole lot more responsive. This one's just a stout, and I don't know. I'm ready for another Thompson. A Rosewood Sunburst for sure. You're writing that down back there.
I got it.
Big sound comes out of a little guitar. Yeah.
What's that? I don't know.
That's 12 fret.
Triple O 12 fret.
Yep.
Oh, this is Barry's?
Okay. Yep.
Show them the back, just so they can see.
Shipwreck,
what the back looks like.
That's a Shipwreck?
Yep.
Brazilian Addy.
Howdy. That's some more nice paneling right there.
Yeah, from the 80s.
From the 80s.
Yeah, he bought it at Winfield from Preston. He had a little booth there when Preston's guitars were prize guitar for 3 years at the flat picking championship. And I have to announce that this year we're going to be a prize guitar again. It's our first year back, and
Cool.
That's
Also Rocky Grass.
and Rocky Grass. But Winfield is like dear to Preston's heart, and so he was so happy to hear that. And so that's Peter's that he bought from Preston. It's a Triple O Deluxe Brazilian
42 style.
42 style.
Wow, that's nice. It's
And-
really, it's very, very thin. The wood's beautiful too.
Do you know anything about, I mean, does having the abalone around the edge, I've heard some people talk about like the old 45s and stuff. Maybe some people think the reason they sound so good is because the top is like, the abalone kind of like blocks it from the side, almost like it's kind of like floating there or something. I mean,
No, I have no idea.
yeah.
Preston did, you know, we've had discussions about it, and he said he didn't play enough of them to really know.
Yeah.
Because we've been asked that before, and I remember him saying specifically, yeah, he just hadn't played enough to know.
I guess it wouldn't be any different than like the herringbone trim, or you know, it's the
Just to be
same.
harder, I guess.
Yeah, a little bit harder. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's East Indian rosewood back and sides, and then it's a redwood top.
Redwood.
It's a 12 fret slotted headstock dreadnought, a short scale,
Yeah.
24/8. Yeah.
Before you. This is
That's
Yeah.
very
this is very. Redwood sounds really different.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a great rhythm guitar.
So we have a person that salvaged some redwood from southern Oregon, northern California, and some of the tunnels that the railroads used to have.
Yep.
And so this is really old growth, vintage material that we've used and we have access to. So
Yeah.
if you're interested in something like that.
I played this probably, 6 months ago or something. It's really changed.
Yeah.
It's got a great sound.
As I like to say, the new guitars is the worst they're ever going to sound. Unlike
That's a good cue for me.
Yeah, right.
Okay, this is how you don't play.
This is what it's like when he's old.
This looks like East Indian, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
4-aught.
4/0. This is really nice.
Is there?
Yes.
Honey, have I been a good boy? Please, pretty please.
Not that
It's amazing how much sound comes out. You know, I played some small guitars and they just sounded small. You know, they're great in your parlor. I remember we shot some video at the shop one time, Chris Luquette and I was playing my Dreadnought, and he was playing a parlor-sized guitar, and that parlor guitar just brought a lot of hurt with it. It was a great little instrument. I mean, that sucker would just cut you right off at the head, you know, at 50 paces. And Chris gets a lot of great tone. He could really pull a lot of great tone. And you know, like I said, you could look all over. But you know, if you want, I think the thing is when you get an instrument built for yourself, the minute you sign the deal, you go to the store and you buy like a lot of Maalox because your stomach's just churning. Because you don't know what you're gonna get, you know, sometimes. And I think the thing about going to a Thompson is like you don't have to do that, you know. It's, you know, it's gonna be great. It's just a matter of how great, and because of the consistency, and that's what I'm real impressed with.
It really is consistent.
Yeah.
I live in Nashville, and I go down to Carter Vintage Guitars all the time, and they always got a couple new Thompsons in, and every time I pick them up, and it's just like, geez, I want this guitar. Geez, this is so great. You know, and I've never played one that I've, you know, not been completely blown away by, which is insane, you know. And I forgot to mention, the first time I ever played a Thompson guitar was Chris Luquette's here at Wintergrass. Quite a few years back. That was the first time I had ever played one. And I had been hearing about them and seeing an ad in a magazine here and there, Preston Thompson guitars, and at Wintergrass, you know, quite a few years back. That's when I got to play Chris's Brazilian for the first time, and that thing is just a cannon, you know. And so that's
the first one I ever played was Chris's.
That changed my mind. It was like, okay, I'm gonna try to get a Thompson, you know.
Well, Chris is a big supporter of ours from the very beginning, so I'm going to tell him that he'll be thrilled to hear that, because he's really amazing, and we couldn't have really spread the word without someone like that is so generous and heartfelt about it.
Well, he's smart, you know. He got a real good guitar. He's a really great player, and yeah, he has been a huge, you know, banner waving kind of guy for you guys.
Right,
you know?
right. We have 10 minutes left, so I wanted to just, if anyone had any questions for these guys, and I want to thank you all for taking an hour out of your day to come and
thank you.
You're awesome, and we just really appreciate everything that you say.
Thank you. We appreciate you guys.
So,
Yeah, really.
So if there's any questions, we have a few minutes.
I have a question for you. Will you be posting this video on your website or anything?
Probably when I get back, I'll do a little edit, and yeah, it'll be on YouTube at some point. I hope my camera worked for most of it. Do you guys just want to hear them all?
Yeah.
Play something to create some leads back.
Sure. Whatever you want to do. Slow and easy.
Kick it down.
I'll do that. See, just to make it sound like see how this thing sounds? You can kick it up. Doesn't matter. Go ahead.
really cool. Wow.